Good evening, everybody. J-Protostar here once again with both Adman and Kiryu as, excuse me, per usual, except last week because I went out of town to play Magic the Gathering with coworkers. That was why. There was no
Uh,
podcast last week. And I wanted to do it Monday, and then that didn't work because I ended up going to the Winchester Mystery House in San Jose, and I was tired after that, so whatever. We're here.
uh,
We're talking about Kingdom Hearts 3.
yep.
When I stop talking, it's your guys' cue to start talking.
Hey,
And
everybody.
oh god, god damn it!
It's okay.
I inhaled some fluids. That was not good. Water down the wrong pipe. Um, so Kingdom Hearts 3. It was hell. Who wasn't waiting for this game when by the time it finally came out?
Dude,
Yeah.
I mean, people that started playing Kingdom Hearts like when it first came out. People that got
Yeah.
into it later, like I did back when I was in like 8th grade. Fucking
Yeah.
anyone else that got into it just wanted the next game in the series. Dude, this was
Yeah.
probably the most anticipated game of like of a very long time.
Yeah, very.
yeah, I feel like overall, like number three most anticipated game of like this century. Number two probably being Cyberpunk, and number one, which this game gives me a lot of hope might actually occur, is Half-Life 3.
Well, okay, most anticipated game that we know actually is happening, but I don't know. Is a lot of people waiting on Cyberpunk? I haven't heard a lot about it.
A lot of people were waiting on Cyberpunk.
I am legitimately surprised. I mean, I guess now Keanu Reeves is in it, everyone's gonna be freaking out about it. But aside from that fact, I don't
He's
really get it.
breathtaking.
I don't know. You know what? I never watched that demo we got at E3 last year. Maybe that's why, but I don't know.
Uh-huh.
But this three, this final three gives me a lot of hope for Half-Life 3 because we
I'm
got we
hoping
got
more
we
for.
got a we
Sorry,
got
go
a
ahead.
3 that we thought was never gonna happen.
Well, it's a 3 we knew was happening. It was just we knew it was happening for a really long ass time, and it kept
Yeah.
getting pushed back when it was. I think the reason everyone was so hyped for this was because it kept getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. It's
Yeah.
just like, what was like the original launch date? Like, when did we first know they were talking about it? Like, was it 2014 when they first announced it
Uh,
was being developed, or 2015?
yeah,
Yeah, it's like around there.
It was
yeah,
something
it
like
was.
that.
I think
And then it was
like
like
18.
2016 release, 2017 release, 2018 release, and it just kept getting pushed back until we finally got it this year.
Well, like the
Yeah.
first teaser we got was that
Finally.
scene of Sora like grabbing Master Eric as his Keyblade,
Yes, that's
and it's like
right.
Kingdom Hearts 3 in development.
Yeah.
That was like the first hint we got. And then,
Yeah.
because I remember all throughout high school, me always checking the news for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, I recall, like, by the time we were, it's what, junior year? I remember hearing a lot about it, but
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Junior.
I think, I don't know, that was, yeah, because I didn't get into Kingdom Hearts. I actually got into Kingdom Hearts because of the manga. Like, I found the manga,
Yeah.
and I have, like, the first 2 volumes of it in one thing, and I really liked it. And so I
Mhm.
decided I wanted to play the game, so I went to GameStop back in the day when GameStop still had PS2 games. And
The
they
good
had it
times.
copied, and I bought it, and that's still my original copy. It's got the original case and everything, and it's all shiny. I love that about the old Kingdom Hearts, how they have the shiny covers.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
now
the
I
shiny
have
cover.
the other two, because I got Kingdom Hearts 2 and the worst game ever, freaking Chain of Memories. But I only got Chain
Wait,
of Memories because, one, it was $3, and two, the case
was
is
it
really
Chain of
nice.
Memories or Re-Chain of
Oh.
Memories?
Chain of Memories, the PS2 game.
Yeah.
Re-Chain of
Same
Memories.
difference. Either way, I hate it.
That's alright.
I despise that game. I am never gonna play that game again unless I like really want the wallpaper for my PS4. But that's a stretch. That game is not worth it.
No,
Yeah,
it is
that game's
definitely
good.
the weakest point.
I can't think of a Kingdom Hearts game I've played that I hate more. Like,
Maybe
358 over 2 is repetitive as fuck, but at least the gameplay
Yeah.
itself isn't like pushes you to the brink of jumping off a bridge.
Yeah.
It's just so bad.
Dream Drop Distance is
Yeah.
almost that.
Dream Drop just because it has the freaking like drop mechanic, which is like the gameplay is fine, but the drop mechanic makes playing it cumbersome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then you've got, you know, like the gooder, better ones like Birth by Sleep and 2 that are just awesome.
Yeah.
And none of them ever had that combat flow that Kingdom Hearts 2 had.
No, that's why 2 is like, well, I don't know. I'm kind of skipping ahead saying 2 is still my favorite after this game, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of a toss up because there's a lot I liked about Kingdom Hearts 3. There's also a
Yeah.
lot that I didn't like. So it's kind of a mix up. I mean, you've got a lot of
It's
different
a mixed
factors.
bag.
Because people play Kingdom Hearts for different reasons. Like, not as many people play it for the actual gameplay as they do for the story. Like, most
Yeah.
people are in this for the story at this point. And if you think you're in it for the gameplay, you go back, you play Kingdom Hearts 1, and then you come back to me and tell me you're still in it for the gameplay, because you are fooling your own goddamn self.
Oh, jeez.
Like, playing, some dude at work earlier was trying to get his, I think it was like it was either like his little brother or his nephew or something. So like trying to, oh yeah, you should get Kingdom Hearts. It's like you can get like all the games, and I'm just like, you're gonna subject that kid to Kingdom Hearts 1? You are cruel, sir.
It is super outdated.
Dude, the only reason you play the first Kingdom Hearts game is for the story at this point, because the gameplay is so stilted compared to like just Kingdom Hearts 2, but
Yeah.
even like Birth by Sleep is better by comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because it's so not counterintuitive, it's so confusing. Like, you learn different skills depending on what you pick in the beginning. And maybe Kingdom Hearts 2 does this as well, and I just never noticed. But that's the thing, I never noticed. But, like, if you pick the wrong build, you could be waiting hours to get Scan.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
just that, it would be hell for me. So, that's...
And like with Kingdom Hearts
Oh,
2,
man.
if you have enough AP points, you could just you level up Scan at level 5. Level 5 is when you get Scan.
Yeah, and see, Kingdom Hearts 2 just has the really, really good combat that is still good even by today's standards. It's grindy if
Mhm.
you're trying to level up the forms, but as far as
Yeah.
just the gameplay, it is still solid. While
It's still a
playing Kingdom
solid
Hearts
game.
1 just feels all kinds of stilted and slow.
It's
Trying-
a very
Yeah.
fluid button masher.
Exactly, but it's way easier to get like behind the fat ones to attack them and kill them, you know, and other enemies. Easy to chain combos. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Regular Kingdom Hearts just an old hack and slash with Disney elements and.
And plus, there's some enemies that you can't even hit.
And honestly, I'm of the mind that the Disney part is honestly the weakest part of the Kingdom Hearts series, because the first
Oh.
game had like the oh, that's so cool like factor that made you kind of overlook the gameplay a little bit, or at least nowadays it does. It was all right back then.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then Kingdom Hearts 2, it's like it's still cool, but I feel like you start to feel kind of like the dissonance between what happens in the Disney worlds and the Kingdom Hearts. And
Yeah.
then by the time you get to 3, it's just like these Disney worlds are literally just here to serve as levels. There's like no connection to anything.
Yeah.
Like, but well,
They're just there.
since we've kind of reached Kingdom Hearts 3 from our little retrospective here, let's kind of start off with that. Do you guys
Yeah.
want to talk about gameplay first, or story, or what? 'Cause I don't really
Let's
care.
just go with the story.
All right, we got the big one first.
Is
So-
it the big one? 87% of this game isn't story.
Well, as far as what there is to discuss in this story, yeah. Spoiler
Yeah,
warning,
there's
by
a
the
lot.
way, in case you haven't played and
Spoilers.
actually care. I understand
Expressions
games can
of
take a
eyes.
while longer than watching a movie or something. I got into a debate at work over that earlier. Like, is it okay? Like it's not okay. It's like I was making a joke about Endgame, and just like you probably shouldn't spoil Endgame. I was like, it's been out for 2 months.
And
they
the
said-
re-release is already out
yeah,
also.
and then they said, what about games? And I was like, well, games are different. Games, they can take anywhere from like 6 to 130 hours to beat. So I'm not gonna spoil a game nearly as much as I will spoil a movie. Because like, if you
Yeah.
don't know the guy's been dead the entire time in The Sixth Sense, like you honestly don't care at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just so funny. Like, I'm not gonna spoil movies that are still in theaters. Is kind of my rule. But I mean, like,
Yeah.
the gag order came off the actors for Endgame. Like, forever ago, and they were posting all their behind the scenes shit. Like, come on.
Mm-hmm.
If the Russo brothers lift the gag order, it means the gag order for spoilers has been lifted. It's not in theaters. If you didn't see it in theaters, you didn't care enough to go.
I mean, like, I saw people who were legitimately angry that the promotional material for Endgame was spoiling Infinity War. Like, you remember those like
I
Avengers
see
the
what you're
Fallen
saying,
posters?
yeah. No,
Like
and dude,
those things that they were posting, like Avengers the Fallen, like the people who died in the snap.
yes.
People were mad because that was spoiling Infinity War.
Well, like, are you maybe they're the kind of people that wanted to watch them back to back, but that's your own fault, dude. Come on. I mean, honestly, I have to admit, it was kind of my own fault that you spoiled that Spider-Man dies in Infinity War for me, because it took so long to see it, but at the same time, it was still in theaters, you prick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, I'm not gonna talk about Far From Home, even though that was actually really good.
That was a good movie.
Dude, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I totally called that, like I said, I totally called that plot twist months ago, though.
Yeah.
Plus, I like the ending, though.
You know, it's
Well, I mean, if you
read
obvious.
the comic, well, it is obvious, but at the same time, the way the trailers were framing it, you know, considering what they did with the Skrull, you know, Captain Marvel, you think just like, well, you know, are they actually changing it? Are they not? I'm not going to talk in specific terms in case people
like he's
still want to watch
now?
it. Like, yeah, so I was just like, hey, let's see what happens. But I still I wanted things to turn out the way it seemed like they were, but at the same time, I kind of knew how it was going to turn out. But I was still impressed with it, though. Even though I saw the twist coming, it was still impressive how they you know.
Like I was really surprised when Venom showed up.
Oh, shut up. Yeah, when what's his face dropped in and ate Mysterio and absorbed all the elementals, and we got like mysterious element Venom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That weird Galactus teaser, that was pretty cool. I'm just gonna say a bunch of random shit and see like who believes which one's true.
Yeah, that's always the easiest way. That's like the episode. Oh, you haven't watched The Office. Damn it! Damn it! You need to watch The Office. Anyway, we were talking about Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, we're going back to Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, well, technically we're still talking about Disney stuff, technically, but. Oh yeah, I saw someone. One more aside. I saw someone. There was like there was an article from. I don't know if it was Kotaku or something. It's just like why there isn't a Stan Lee cameo in Far From Home, and someone just retweeted it because he's fucking dead. I was like, God damn it! It makes me sad, but that shit's funny. So like, what are they gonna do? Like, pull his cadaver and like use puppeteering to make him say Excelsior?
I mean, the really fucked up thing that they could have done was to make a Stan Lee funeral. The cameo.
Dude,
of
honestly,
Stan Lee.
I was almost expecting him to show up in the beginning, you know, in that beginning segment of the movie. I almost expected him to pop up.
Yeah, like
but
in Captain America or Captain Marvel.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say
he's the Marvel.
Yeah, they already did the tribute to him in Captain Marvel, unfortunately. And if there's one good takeaway of Captain Marvel being name dropped in Far From Home, it was Nick Fury saying, "Do not invoke her name," which made me think. Which, when I heard that, I was just like, "Yeah," because none of us want to hear it.
Yeah, like even Nick Fury.
Even Nick Fury is sick of that bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, some motherfucker.
Alright,
so it starts off right where Dream Drop Distance left off, where Riku passed the Mark of Mastery, Sora didn't, lost all his powers again, and he's like, you need to figure out the power of waking so we can bring Roxas back, because we need light warriors, even though by the end of the game, again, we already said Kingdom Hearts 3 spoilers, by the end of the game, they already have their 7, and Roxas is not among them. Like I don't, like they knew about Ventus too, so like they knew like if they got Aqua, and Aqua was already part of the plan. So it's like they had, like from the word go, they had what 4. They had 5. They had 5 Warriors of Light at the beginning of the game. They only needed 2 more. And they got both of them just by getting Aqua out of the Realm of Darkness.
Yeah, so because they had Sora, Riku, Kairi, Lee, and Mickey.
Yeah, exactly. They already had 5. So it's just like, we need the power of waking so we can get back Roxas. Like, yeah, he needs to come back at some point, but honestly, you're counting on Sora to get some new power to bring back Roxas when you've got
Yeah.
just so you know where another one is, and then that person knows where another one is. Like, all you gotta do is get Aqua, and you're set.
Yeah.
All right, let's go straight to the Keyblade Graveyard and this shit.
Yeah.
And considering the power of waking was inside him the whole time, you know, it kind of amounted to nothing anyway. And that's
Yeah.
kind of a big crux here with the story, but we'll get to that. So I love
Yeah.
the gag when you start off and you go back to Olympus and it's Kingdom Hearts. What was it, 2.9?
2.9.
Yeah,
that was pretty fun.
that got a laugh out of me. Because when this game came out, I stopped streaming for like a month because this was all I played because I didn't want to get spoiled on anything. And then
No
Resident Evil
spoilers.
2 came out. Or no, it was out before. And then I played this. And then I went back to Resi 2.
Yep.
So, yeah, I did not want to spoil it on anything. So I just rushed through this as fast as I could. But it was alright. And then the story is just, like, so we get the Olympus thing where Sora basically gets his confidence back for, like, what, the 8th or 9th time in the series. And then...
Yeah.
And then he gets his goes back to Yensid, he gets his new clothes, sets out to do the power of waking in new worlds, and
Yep.
and then he does all the worlds, and the worlds amount to jack shit, and
Long story short is
They don't do anything.
maybe
They're
they
just
can help.
worthless.
It's like long story short, it's like he goes to a world. Maybe they can help you. They don't help him. Oh well, next world and repeat.
no, it's goes to world. Hey, they have a problem. Maybe if I help them solve the problem, I can find the power of waking. And he solves the problem. Well, that didn't work. Let's go find another world. And then rinse and repeat literally until the end of the game. Like, the worlds are so much more of an aside in this game than they have ever been. And I've, honestly, with 3 is the one that kind of made me think about it, but the worlds have kind of always been an aside in Kingdom Hearts. But at least in previous, it felt like things were more tied. Like, at least in, like, the previous games, like, the first game is actually solid because you're trying to save the worlds from being eaten by the Heartless. So, solid tie to the main plot. There's, like, a good reason for Sora to be there. Kingdom Hearts 2, Organization 13 is doing all kinds of crazy shit on all the worlds, including... And like, you're still locking the keyholes, but not for any real reason, because it's never stated if the Heartless are trying to eat worlds again. So you're just kind of doing it as you go. But the real reason you're there is to stop Organization 13. But here, like, whatever Organization 13's doing isn't even really integral to their plan, like, at all.
Yeah.
Like, whatever they're doing, like, in Toy Story, like, young Xehanort's just doing experiments and shit, and, like, I don't even remember what Marluxia was doing in the Tangled world, and not Arendelle, I forget. Corona, that's it. Arendelle's the frozen world. Yeah, and what was largely, like, I literally... Like, 9 times out of 10, I could not tell you what the organization was doing in the worlds because it meant nothing to the plot. Like, it was all about either, like, trying this, like making the fake hearts or whatever was for the Big Hero 6 San Francisco world with the possessed Riku Nort. Riku Nort. And, yeah, they were all just, like, doing random things. So the story, like, kind of stops. In between worlds, you get more snippets of it, like them doing research, working towards getting replicas to try and bring Roxas and Naminé back, and more of like what the former organization members are doing now that they're not nobodies anymore, and then kind of talking about the ones that went back, and we get like that whole subplot with what's his face, Evan, who went back to being Vexen, but he's like a double agent the whole time, which kind of comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. I honestly forgot that he was even a member of Organization 13.
I didn't forget that he was, mostly because I played Rechain of Memories, so I remember him very well because of that. Also, he's voiced by Derek Stephen Prince, who voices Uryu in Bleach, so that also helps. There's, like, just this turnaround that's, like, not foreshadowed or anything. It's just like, oh, by the way, I'm actually a good guy. It's like, then, okay, alright, well, you got the replicas, so I guess that means something. Yeah, because and the other, even the organization, the members, the ones that aren't really Xehanort but are like half Xehanort or whatever, like possessed or whatever, like that's not even made clear what exactly that means. Did they discuss that more in Birth by Sleep and I just don't remember, or Dream Drop Distance? Like where, what's his face, the dude with the elf ears and the eye patch? What's his name again?
Elf ears and the eye patch?
Yeah, and he's got like the guns.
Zigbar.
Yes, Zigbar. Like, I remember, like, he was, like, half Xehanort in Dream Drop Distance, but I don't remember why. Is, like, he's just, like, possessing part of them, or?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, yeah. So, like, you have him, Marluxia's back because time travel. Like, all these other Norts are here because of time travel, pretty much. But Marluxia,
Yep.
Larxene, Luxor. Yeah, Luxord's part of the lineup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Vexen is not. He's like he doesn't show up basically. But then you
Zyx is back, or Isa, whatever you want to call him.
Syx, yeah, well, he's a nobody here until the end of the game. Syx,
Yep.
and then you've got Vanitas, old Xehanort, like or OG Xehanort. You got young Xehanort, Xemnas,
Yep.
Ansem the Wise.
Yep.
Yeah, and some of the wise and some the heartless.
Ansem Secret Darkness. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Not Ansem
Yeah.
the Wise. Ansem Secret Darkness, which is all kinds of confusing.
Yeah.
Actually, I am Xehanort Heartless. Who the hell is Xehanort? Yeah. Watch Just a Pancake. He does a lot of funny Kingdom Hearts memes. Yeah. So you got like the full. I don't know if I don't think I'm forgetting anybody because that's everybody you fight at the the maze or whatever.
Yeah, that amazing.
Yeah, so that's everybody.
Hey, you don't fight, and you don't really fight any Organization 13 members until the end.
Yeah,
think so.
I think you fight Marluxia on I almost said Cronoa.
We get into a scuffle.
Yeah, like there are fights, but there's not like big end of game boss fights until the end of the game. But yeah, you don't really fight a lot of the organization members. Like I said, it's just such an aside. Like, what was it, like? Young Xehanort is there to see, like, experiment with the loneliness of the heart in this Toy Story world. That's the one I can remember just because of how fucking hard Woody burned him. It was
he just gets roasted.
Dude, that's because I think it's because no one ever loved you. I was just like, holy shit, Woody. You are laying down some really thick. Like, he should have just, like, young Xehanort should have just been dead from that. Like, he gets burned and dies from burn damage.
It should have just cut to, like, welcome to the Comedy Central roast of Young Xehanort, hosted by Woody.
Dude, can you imagine how great it would have been if they had actually gotten Tom Hanks and Tim Allen to do the voices for that? Dude, I want to hear Tom Hanks roasting Xehanort. Come on.
Yeah.
If that man's ever at a convention and he has like a recording option, I'm paying for it because I want that in his voice. God, it'd be so fucking great.
I mean, they got his brother, but yeah, it wasn't exactly the same.
That was Tom Hanks' brother?
I think
Yeah.
it was a relative or something.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't remember. I know the voice they got for Buzz has done Buzz before in other media, just because Tom Hanks is such a big ticket actor. That's the one problem with getting big ticket actors for your productions. You can't get them in side material a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Unless you're willing, to fork over the money for it. But
I mean, they got some pretty big actors to voice some of the roles.
well, in the past, yeah, like they had Christopher Lee, Leonard Nimoy, rest in peace to both of them. I think the person they have doing Xehanort now, though, still sounds really, really similar to Leonard Nimoy's take on it.
Yeah, not as good.
Well, no, it's not Leonard Nimoy, but it's very, very close.
Mhm.
And of course, I mean, they had replaced Christopher Lee ages ago, so Ansem's kind of stayed the same. Also, Ansem's still alive.
Yeah.
Which is interesting to me. Let's see what else. Yeah, the only world you go to that isn't the worlds you go to that aren't Disney is Twilight Town and Keyblade Graveyard.
Yeah, those are the only world.
And Final World,
Is
if that even counts.
I don't think it does, because it's basically an extension of the Keyblade Graveyard.
Yeah.
Because that all happens, and like you don't like fly to it. It's not like
It's
Kingdom
purgatory.
Hearts. Yeah, it's not like Kingdom Hearts 2 where you had to like actually go there.
Yeah.
At least I think you had to go there in Kingdom Hearts 2. I don't remember. It's been a while. I just played, like, I haven't played through all of them. I like beat 1 and 2 and Rechanted Memories, and like I know the story for just about everything. But
so far.
Yeah, I haven't played through them all, mostly because I'm mostly in it for the story. So if a game's shit, I'm not gonna bother with it.
I also like how one of the most important worlds in the entire game, one of the most important worlds, is Hollow Bastion. But you don't even get to go to fucking Hollow Bastion.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Like, you don't get to go there.
Like, aren't they still like set up shop? They're still set up shop in the lab though, right? But don't you go back there at some point?
No, you don't. You never
don't.
play in Hollow Bastion.
I mean, under the mansion in Twilight Town. I don't
Uh,
remember if you go back there at
you
some
go
point.
you go to Twilight Town, and you can go like into the mansion and
Yeah,
in the basement and stuff like that.
that's what I
Yeah,
meant. Yeah.
but you don't go to
Hollow.
Hollow Bastion
Yeah,
or Radiant Garden.
which is where what's his face, the blue-haired guy, Zexion is his. I almost said his hollow name. His heart.
Zexion.
No, Zexion. Yeah,
That's
that's his nobody
nobody.
name. But what's his not nobody name? I forget.
Well,
I'm trying to remember.
I don't know.
Zach.
Remove the X and then.
Rearrange the
Saya?
letters.
Mm-hmm.
Saya, whatever it's called.
I don't fucking remember. Like, that's some of these names. You know, they made them with the X first and figured out their actual names later.
Uh-huh.
Hang on, I'm gonna Google it. But anyway, yeah, like you get calls from him all the time. It's like, hey, I've done something else. Hey, I found out about the replicas, but you don't see him ever.
Yeah.
Isa, or whatever his name.
Ienzo, that's his
Ienzo.
name.
Yeah, Ian's
Like, that is not a name they came up with first. They're like, shit, how are we gonna make a name out of this without the X in it?
And also, like in Kingdom Hearts 3, he's like he looks like super like grown up, like teenager, and when like
We're talking Ienzo, right?
yeah, Ienzo in Kingdom Hearts 3, he's like because originally Kingdom Hearts 1, he was a little kid.
He wasn't in Kingdom Hearts 1. He was in
Or-
Birth by Sleep.
Yeah, in Birth by Sleep, he's a little kid. And now he's
Sora and Riku.
he's like a teenager.
Yeah.
Even though like chronologically it's been like 2-3 years.
What? No. Birth by Sleep is like the prequel to the first one, where Sora, Riku, and Kairi are all little kids.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. I think you're thinking Dream Drop Distance.
Yeah.
Because because Birth by Sleep, you see like Axel or Lee, you see Lee and Isa as little or as teenagers, kind of like they're like tweens, something like that.
Yeah,
But no, that's what you're thinking of.
it might be.
Because no, he's definitely old enough. Because I mean,
I thought you fought him in Kingdom Hearts 1 though.
No, you can fight a a hooded figure in Kingdom Hearts 1, but that's actually Xemnas.
Yeah.
You don't fight Zexion. That's not until Reach Into Memories, where
I'm thinking of the data battles. And
you might
Kingdom
be
Hearts
thinking
2.
the data battles.
Mm-hmm.
Because anything you fought in Reach Into Memories, you can fight in an actual battle in Kingdom Hearts 2 instead of a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh bullshit. But not even. I think we were still talking about so we're talking about how you never go to Hall Bastion. The plot kind of happens in between the worlds, not during the worlds. I mean, some of the worlds, like, okay, so all the worlds where you are taking place after the film they're based on, I like. I mean, I like the story for the Toy Story world. It's not bad, and again, that Woody roast is fan-fucking-tastic. And then you've got, the Big Hero 6 one isn't bad either, though I hate that world because it's so fucking spread out. It's hard to find.
Yeah.
Like, I went to try, I got enough emblems to get the true ending in the secret movie, and let me tell you, trying to find them in that place, even with a guide, was a bitch.
Even with Donald and Goofy, I think there's an emblem here.
I think there's a lucky emblem.
We can find ingredients.
I can't do fucking Donald Duck's voice. I think we can find some ingredients around here. Yeah, I fucking know. And where's my Ratatouille world? Why is he just here cooking? I want to like have to avoid knives.
Yeah, in Twilight Town.
Yeah.
And kill the chef.
I kind of like that. I also like purposefully fucking up a recipe just to see Sora's face catch on fire.
Yeah.
That would have ended the game a lot earlier.
Sora died of burn damage instead of young Xehanort. The Monsters Inc. world is worth it just for the fact that they fucking grab Vanitas and yeet him through a door and then throw that door inside another door. Like, that is fucking perfect. Like, in reality, the dude can teleport, but just in the process of Sully just grabbing it, so funny. That shit was great. That was hilarious.
Just yeet, yeet, yeet.
Yeet!
Because yeet is for power, Kobe's for accuracy, and they were not doing accuracy, they were doing power.
Yeah, I like that. But and then you've got the worlds that are literally just a retread of the movies, which is Tangled, Frozen, Pirates of the
Pirates
Caribbean.
of
Though
the
I can
Caribbean.
forgive that one a little bit, and I'll get into why when we talk more about gameplay. Um, what are the other worlds? Like there's that one, Monsters Inc., Toy Story, Big Hero 6. Was that it? Were there only 6 worlds in this? Or am I forgetting
Uh,
I
one?
think there was.
Not
yeah, I think
including,
there was very, very little.
as far as the Disney worlds go.
Hercules.
I'm not counting that one because that's like prologue.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, there's technically, yeah, it's still a world, but I'm thinking of it as prologue. I'm just thinking like what was new in this game.
Olympus Coliseum.
South Park,
I
Big
Toy
think
Hero
that
Story.
was
6.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's basically
there
it.
wasn't like Mulan or like
Right.
Halloween Town.
No,
There wasn't Pride Rock.
yeah, Twilight Town and Olympus are the only returning worlds. The other ones are all new, not including like the Keyblade Graveyard. Technically, we've been there before, but it's very different this time.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's an actual level instead of just a boss
Return
fight.
world.
Yeah, there's not there's not a whole lot. So yeah, and the problem is it's not just like before in Kingdom Hearts 1 where the retread was kind of neat, but now the problem is that because we have that problem of the worlds don't really tie into the plot overall, you get this problem of like, I've literally watched this movie, can we move on? Like, whoever decided that we had to sit through the entire Let It Go song can fucking die. Because it's
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts. So I'm like, do I skip this? What if I skip this scene and like the Lark scene like cuts off the song and like murders Elsa or something, and I'm trying to figure out why there's a corpse in front of me? Like, what the fuck happened?
That happens on later in the game where you see the exact same cuts and you're like, I'll just skip it, and then all of a sudden you're looking at a tornado and you're like, wait, excuse me?
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. I just let it play because I figured there's gonna be there's a time loop thing. But yeah, that is true. But mostly this shit, like with movies that we have already seen, because Frozen and Tangled both do literally scene for scene rips in the game for cutscenes, and it's the only difference is one, it doesn't look as good.
Sora's in it.
And two, yeah, Sora. It's like, hey, look, Sora. Like that's the one thing. Let It Go. They keep cutting back to Sora, going like, "Wow, she's really good singer." And
Like
it's
that
just like, yeah,
in the Pirates of the Caribbean world where they're walking onto the little island where before they're trying to make the treaty before they go to war. It's like the exact same scene as in at World's End, except that now there's Sora.
Yeah, and I didn't mind that as much because I've never seen At World's End. I've only seen the first two. I mean, I want to watch it. It's on my queue in Netflix if it's still there. I don't know if it still is, but so I can forgive it because I never actually watched all of that movie. I just saw like the end where they killed Davy Jones, but so I didn't mind the retread as much there because I hadn't ever watched the film, and also because of that's my favorite world hands down in this game for reasons we'll get into, as I said earlier. So I didn't care that much, but yeah, it's still an issue. Like the retread having nothing to do with anything is a big problem, especially because like even in the old ones, the retreads had to do also like not only sealing the keyholes but also finding the princesses of heart. Like they're all tied into the world somehow, for most of them. I don't think Neverland did, but so yeah, the world's kind of a wash. And then at the end once you finish all the worlds is when you go to the Realm of Darkness to save Aqua. And you do get that scene or like early on where you actually get to play as Riku for a little bit, and Mickey like in the Realm of Darkness, and Riku gets his really fucking cool Keyblade messed up, and he gets the car Keyblade as a replacement, which I don't think looks nearly as cool as his like dark side Keyblade or whatever it was called.
It kind of reminds me of Fenrir from Kingdom Hearts 2.
Except it's a car key. It's a car key. It's a chip key.
It's literally a freaking
I have
car
cut
key.
those before. It is a fucking car key. I just don't.
I expected him to like hit a button and just see like a Toyota Corolla just go like. Boop, boop.
It's like, all right, sorry, get in, losers. We're gonna run over some heartless.
Rent that photo style.
Yeah.
Grand Theft Hearts. Yeah, it was. I'm not a big fan of the design. We also do get cut-ins of Lee and Kyrie training like in a place where time doesn't pass. And my first thought was, why don't we just put Sora in there until he figures out how his power works?
Yeah.
Considering it ends up being inside him the whole time, and it just like happened. Doesn't okay? Remind me. Does it happen like like after he like directly after he dies, or is it like when Roxas shows back up? I don't remember.
What?
Like when he gets the power of waking back, like it's just like it's
Well,
been with
he
you the
gets
whole time, or was it when he was with
he-
Ventus? I don't remember.
he gets the power of waking when he goes to save Aqua.
Is that okay?
Isn't it?
I don't remember.
But
I
there
don't-
might have just been a dive. I don't fucking know.
Adam, do you remember? You're the one that's played it the most, probably.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember when he gets the power of waking back? Because I can't remember.
That's a tough one because I do remember playing the games and I do remember the cutscene, but I can't remember when.
Yeah, and I like sold my copy a few months ago, and like the next day they announced the story DLC. But it's gonna go on sale tomorrow for like $25, so I might pick it up along with Nier Automata. But
Yeah.
we'll see. We did get that cutscene or the DLC stuff we talked about in the E3 podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Shameless plug. Check it out. It's on my channel now. We went on for hours. So I do kind of want. I might wait till we get like a actual release date for that before I get it again. Just because I knew with like pretty much all the Kingdom Hearts, I'm kind of one and done. And as far as like collecting goes, I mostly just want the originals. Like I kept my steelbook and everything, so I can pick it up again later if I really want. So I don't really remember exactly, but that's just another issue. It's like I don't even remember when like the primary point of the quest happened. Like that's how like little it matters to like anything. It's like that was the whole point of going through all the worlds to get the power of waking back, and I can't even remember when he gets it back. It's like so inconsequential to like anything, and I don't remember if he like uses it to bring himself back to life after he dies the first time or what it was exactly, but and I know he used it like to bring Kyrie back and everything. I'm just spoiling the shit out of this, but I don't remember because Ventus woke up on his own, and then I don't remember. Either he got it like to res himself the first time he got killed, and then went to, like the time loop or whatever, or it was when Roxas came back. Or no, you know what? No, I think it was with Ventus because he had the part of Ventus in his heart, and it left him to go back to Ventus. That's what it was, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be that, or he remembered. I don't know. Who fucking cares? Anyway, they go down to try and help Aqua, but now she's all like evil and really, really hot now. And you end up having to fight her after she beats Riku, and then it's making you wonder why the hell Sora wasn't made a Keyblade Master. But
yeah,
that's kind of like the ongoing jokes. Like the dude saved the world at least twice by this point, but just because he almost got taken over by Xehanort, he's not a master. Just like, you know, because Terra couldn't resist using his dark powers to fight off a bunch of balls, like he's not worthy.
Like remember when he was like 10 years old and saved the world? Remember when he was 11 and fought a giant metal dragon and survived a dude throwing buildings at him?
Okay, no, wait, hang on. Well, he was not 10 in Kingdom Hearts 1. He was like what, 12? And then we had like the time skip,
like around there.
And he like grew in the time chamber, in the memory chamber or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like 13 or 14 in Kingdom Hearts 2, because now he's clearly like 16 at least.
Maybe.
Yeah.
He's got to be, because he looks even older now than he did in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah.
And, you know, we still have had time pass since Kingdom Hearts 2. I don't know. It's weird. I don't remember. Anyone wants to Google his age? I don't. Whatever. But yeah, it's just kind of like the ongoing joke. Like Sora's done so much shit and isn't like recognized for any of it. And
nope.
But whatever. So he beats Aqua, brings her back to the light, and unfortunately, that means she lost the really nice color scheme she had going for herself. And then they go pretty much straight from there to the world that never, not the world that never was.
The Castle Oblivion.
Yeah, to Castle Oblivion, which she turns back into, what's it called?
Land
the
of
Land of
Departure.
Departure, yeah.
Yeah.
Because okay, so apparently Keyblade Masters can also like just change whole fucking worlds to places that make you forget your memories. Wonder why that's never expanded upon, Nomura.
Mm-hmm.
It's not exp-
It's like, hey, I have an idea. What if we go to the Keyblade graveyard, but instead of fighting Xehanort, we turn it into another Castle Oblivion, and then they all forget what they're doing, and then they all just wander off.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember reading in the Ansem reports anything about Keyblade wielders having the ability to terraform entire planets
Yeah.
and then wipe memories off everyone.
It's weird. Definitely weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Keep talking. I just took a bite of my burger. Keep going.
Uh, it,
Gotta keep going, man.
it doesn't make any sense. It's stupid. And the story for 87% of the game is super slowed down and doesn't make any sort of impact on the overall story. And then, like in the last 3 hours of the game, it's super rush, balls to the walls, action.
I wouldn't even I wouldn't call it rushed. It just feels like there wasn't enough building to it. So it's not
Yeah.
rushed. It's just at a more decent pace than the rest of the game is, so it feels way faster. Because again, everything that happens in the worlds is completely inconsequential to the plot. Because no matter what order you do it in, it's always the same shit. It's just in between you get the cutscenes. So the real story happens in between the worlds when you're done, for like a 3 to 5 minute cutscene, and then you spend another 2 to 3 hours in a world, and that's not including all the grinding you might do for either levels, Ultima, or getting the emblems. So there's all of that. So it just speeds up in the end because it gets a much better pace.
Get tasty.
So they go straight there. They turn Castle Oblivion back to Land of Departure, which for some reason it was like almost like it made an alternate dimension because Ventus was in there in Land of Departure, but not in Castle Oblivion. And then when they're going to wake Ventus up, Vanitas shows up. You get to play as Aqua for a little bit, which was pretty cool, using her her magic based command styles, which is really nice. And she's like, "It's okay. I'm gonna show that I can do it too." And then she gets her ass handed to her, like, and not even like you just dominate that fight. Like, I never came close to dying. Actually, that's an overall thing. This game is easy as shit. Like on normal difficulty, game's easy as shit.
I think the last part's pretty difficult.
The only times I died in this game were doing the gummy ship missions to get Ultima, to get that last piece of Orichalcum Plus. Those are like the only times I died, was when I was in the gummy ship. I think the only times I died in game, I think maybe 3 or 4 if I got caught off guard by some really big hit, and then when I was fighting like the ultimate boss or whatever you can fight, that's not Sephiroth for some dumbass reason. Also, yeah, can we talk about how there's no Final Fantasy characters in this game whatsoever?
Yeah, there's
not even a mention.
No, there's like the only thing we get are the Moogles for the store.
Yeah,
that's like it. But you don't no Leon, no Cloud, no Sephiroth, no Sid, no Yuffie, no Aerith, no Tifa. There's literally nothing in this game Final Fantasy except for the Moogles. And like that was the other half of this. It's Final Fantasy and it's Disney, and like we still got the Final Fantasy like art style because it's Kingdom Hearts. But come on, nothing? Really?
Please just put it on a DLC or something.
Like they have to add Final Fantasy stuff in the DLC because like that's part of the game. Like I got into it because of the Disney shit because I didn't know anything about Final Fantasy. That's how these games are how I got introduced to Final Fantasy, because of like fighting Cloud and Olympus and stuff like that. But like a lot of people play this because it's half Final Fantasy, so I know a lot of people weren't happy about that. And the funny thing is, it wasn't until the end of the game that I realized that there was no Final Fantasy in this at all, ever.
Also, like, we never get a Final Fantasy world.
Well, we never really have. It was just like they're always in the original worlds, like Radiant
Like
Guardian.
the only non-original or original world, or like the only non-Disney or original world that we ever get is the fucking town from The World Ends With You.
Oh yeah,
from Dream Drop Distance.
Yes, that's the UG as it's called in that game. It's like an alternate. It's an alternate Shibuya. It's like purgatory, basically.
Yeah.
From what I've played of the game, I've only cleared like the first couple chapters of it. I need to get back to that game. Actually, it's really fun, and the music kicks ass. Yeah, that's true. That's the only Square Enix world is that one, which is kind of interesting because it's not like their flagship series, so it's supposed to be maybe like an aside or something. I don't know. So, anyways, so then Vanitas like shows up, kicks Aqua's ass, which is kind of stupid because I'm like, okay, come on, Aqua's like a really cool character who's actually like really strong, but she got beaten by Vanitas, who got beaten by the word friendship.
Yeah.
Come on.
We need Woody.
My friends will stop you. It's always about your friends. At least I have some. Oh no, he has verbally destroyed me.
We just witnessed this man die.
Well, I'm about to end this whole man's whole career. Friendship.
We need Woody though.
Yeah, and so then like Ventus steps in and like knocks like Vanitas out of the fight because I'm pretty sure that's when Sora got power of waking back, because that's when Ventus like soul heart shit leaves his heart and rejoins Ventus. And Roxas still looks the way he does. All right.
Yep.
And puts me in his back. So like, okay, now we got our 7. Now let's finally do the final boss fight. And I was like, haha, no, I need to do the grinding to get the fucking Ultima. So I spent a good few hours doing that. And let me just say, that sledding minigame in Frozen can kiss my fucking ass. That was the worst. Like, they updated it later, but when you first played that, it did not track the things you had collected down. So you had to remember where the Roman numerals and everything were, and like remember which ones you had. So that took me hours, even again with a guide, to get everything, to get that Orichalcum Plus. God, that was such a bitch. It was bad. And then there was the gummy ship boss fight, which was really hard, really difficult. That took a lot of juicing to that ship to make it at all possible. But that makes sense. That was hard because I needed to have enough weaponry and skill to dodge everything. But that Frozen one was just fucking annoying.
Why?
Yeah, I didn't at all like the Frozen world. I felt like the use of constant repetition of the movie was like very stupid, I guess. I just didn't like it. I didn't like that. I felt like it was the weakest of all of the worlds. I'd rather be back in the fucking Kingdom of Atlantis than playing through the fucking Frozen world, and that's saying a lot.
I disagree.
I would rather play Under the Sea than fucking let it go.
You're legitimately, you would take those swim controls over a dull world, because
yes.
at least Frozen isn't annoying to play through, because you can skip the cutscenes once you know they don't mean a damn thing. And it's still a functional level with fun combat. But we're talking Kingdom Hearts 1 Atlantis with those swim controls and trying to navigate
I'm talking Kingdom Hearts 2 Atlantis.
Yep.
What? That's just a bunch of fucking rhythm games. It's ear grating, but it's not
still
hard.
better.
No,
Yep.
I would still take that over the original Atlantis.
Yeah.
I don't know. No, I don't think that's better, because those are fucking annoying too. But
Under the Sea.
like, because I mean, my problem with the Frozen world, aside from the repetition that the whole game kind of has, or at least those half the worlds has, is the fact that a lot of the world is just climbing a goddamn tower. It's like, come on, we don't see I think we see enough of the locales, but the fact that they just cheaped out on making more of like locations to explore just to make a giant tower, I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah.
It's like, and since when does Larxene have ice powers?
Yeah, aren't they she's
Hers
electric.
are electricity. Like, ice is Vexen's thing.
Yeah.
So that's just, yeah, I don't like that much. I just because what's the fucking tango one called again?
Corona.
It is Corona. Okay, yeah, Corona has
Kingdom of Corona.
Corona is like actually kind of fun to explore because it has like that swamp area. It's got like the big cliff and everything.
That's the best music in the entire fucking game.
Um,
The tension rising version of Kingdom of Corona, or the Kingdom of Corona version of Ten. Fuck, I'm having a stroke. I think the Kingdom of Corona version of Tension Rising is the best song in the entire fucking game. Fuck you, fight me.
I don't know. I really like the Toy Story soundtrack.
Yeah.
Like, that was really good. Just overall, I don't know. I don't really remember a lot of the themes from this game, or any, except for the opening and the ending. Which,
Mhm.
I mean, okay, the opening, when I first heard it, I really hated that dubstep drop, but the song as a whole has kind of grown on me. The ending is just fucking beautiful, hands down. Like, there's no debating that.
Mhm.
Yeah, but, yeah. Anyway, not the openings and endings. We're in the middle right now.
We're in the end game.
Yeah, no, we're not. We still have a lot to talk about. Okay, so so they get Ventus back. They all go down to the Keyblade graveyard, and to like face Organization 13, and he's just like, all right, follow us, and it's just like, haha, fuck you. We're not gonna fight you. Here's have a bunch of Heartless. We're not even going to actually fulfill the prophecy. We are just going to kill you with a tornado of Heartless.
And you know what? It works.
It does. Like, does Terranort attack them in that iteration, or is the first time is it just the shitload of Heartless?
No, he beats the shit out of them.
Okay, yeah. And then Donald like tries to kamikaze them. It doesn't really work.
Yeah, Donald uses like Zeta Flare. Fucking disintegrate Terranort.
Terranort.
Yeah, Terranort, and then the giant tornado of doom of shadows show up and kill everybody.
Yeah, it was certainly interesting. I was like, oh, okay. Well, this is where Kingdom Hearts 4 is going to be a thing. It's like, here's, you didn't want that to be ending? Well, you have to pay the $20 Sora Doesn't Die DLC, except it actually comes pre-installed because Sora doesn't actually die. He, like, comes back. Yeah, so, like, everybody dies, Riku has this, like, awesome moment, and Sora drops into despair again! Yep. Like, holy shit!
Fuck.
How many times does Sora have to go, oh no, I can't even do anything, before he realizes he always can do something because the plot demands it?
Yeah.
Like, every time, this happens in almost every game where he has this moment where it's just like, oh, fuck me, what am I supposed to do here? And it's just like, why do you keep having this? You keep, like, resetting your arc every game. It's just like, I can't do anything. Oh, cool, like, now I have power. Oh, no, I can't do anything again. And then he like, oh, no, I had the power the whole time, and then wins. And then it starts again in the next game.
It's like you outflew the gravitational pull of a black hole. You can take down a tornado.
When did he outfly a black hole?
Kingdom Hearts 2, when Armored Zenith summoned a black hole.
Oh, I don't remember that. But I don't count anything as canon unless it happens in a cutscene. Because technically, like when they did that Death Note battle where it was, who was it? It was Sora against who? Pit? And,
Pit.
And it was just like, he could even withstand the fires of hell. I was like, no, he can't. You just got hit by the fires of hell because you suck at the game and fighting Hades. There's no canon that Sora could survive getting hit by that. Like,
he did survive a fall from orbit. Or from re-entry, at least.
Hit from Hercules.
He did survive a fall from re-entry and hit the ocean. And then got back up like a few seconds later like, I am fine.
When the hell did that happen?
At the end of Kingdom Hearts 2.
Okay, I don't think
when they come back from the realm of darkness, like Riku and Sora literally fall in like are burning in re-entry.
Okay, that would have like vaporized like so much ocean around them if that was actually re-entry speeds. It was clearly magic shit like the opening of Kingdom Hearts 1. Because, like, they did not make that big a splash for them to be going that fast.
I guess, yeah, that's true.
So that's the thing. If they're like, that would also mean like their clothes are like proof against that much friction. Like, it's clearly magic stuff. It's not like they're actually being thrown because the world of darkness is like a separate dimension. They like fell out of the dimension and into the ocean. Like, whatever. But no,
Yeah.
just no. That's just how I go. If it's not in a cutscene or if it's not referenced at some point in the story, then it's not a thing. That's like, otherwise you have to like count game log, just like, oh, he can also hold like 500,000 potions in just his pocket. Like, you can't do that. That's like with the new Witcher series, they're making things more realistic on how he's like carrying like a sword and a bunch of stuff. It's like, obviously the dude can't carry 50 potions. You only got a bag so big. Like, you gotta compromise a certain amount of realism for game mechanics, because otherwise, you know, people be mad when you reload in Call of Duty that you lose those 6 bullets that were still in your magazine, you know? So,
Like, fun fact, Steve from Minecraft is actually the strongest fictional character in existence.
because he can literally stand in lava. Yeah, exactly.
He can carry, like, millions of tons of gold and still move at breakneck speeds.
Exactly. So, anyways, everyone dies, except Sora goes to, like, purgatory, basically. He has to collect a bunch of him. Like, first he has to talk to all these lights, and if you talk to all of them, one of them is apparently Naminé, and then another one is, like says, like, you know them? I never figured out who that other light was. That was, like, familiar with Sora somehow. Like, one was Naminé, because we knew that. And I don't know if those lights were all supposed to be people we knew or what, but I talked to them all just in case. And then I don't know who Chirithy was. I guess he's from the mobile.
He's from Key. He's from Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep and Key.
Okay, see, I figured he had something to do with Birth by Sleep because of the ending where he runs up to Ventus. But yeah, see, that was my big problem, is I never watched Kingdom Hearts back cover. So when we come back and they had a bunch of the other, like, the secret ending where Zigbar is revealed to be Lushu or whatever, I was totally fucking lost. I was like, who the fuck are these people? What's going on here? I had to look it up on the wiki.
Well, you
and
see,
read
they're
it
the
up.
foretellers, and they're, like, for some reason, gods from, like, hundreds of years ago.
Yeah, well, I know that now, but going into it, I never watched that shit, so I didn't even think about it. So, like, when that kid was talking to me when you come back, well, I guess we'll just get to that. So then you, like, run around where, like, the gravity can shift when you hit the button, and you're, like, trying to collect a bunch of your cells, and if you collect enough, you actually can get up to 2 boosts to your hit points. And I, like, just kept collecting in case something actually did happen, and it did, so it worked out. It was kind of neat. And then you come back in, like, a time loop, basically, where it's before everything happened, and you fight off Terranort. And I actually don't remember how exactly that happened, but you fight off Terranort, and then you fight the tornado by calling in, like, a bunch of people from the mobile game, which was really, really fucking cool. I was like, who are these usernames? And I was like, oh yeah, that's that mobile game. So I guess they, like, ripped, like, a whole list of the player base and just spawns at random.
Well, it was a contest. Yeah. It's like whoever got the highest score was going to be included in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh,
it was a contest they were holding.
See, I had no idea that happened. But that was, like, really cool, like, riding all the fucking Keyblades and launching it at the tornado. That was awesome. I like that. Yeah, so all that happens, then we, like, get the actual fight. It starts with the Organization 13 members, where you, like, get separated in the maze.
You get the 1,000 heart or the 10,000 heartless fight.
Oh yeah, that's right. There's that, which amounts to hitting people until you get Big Thunder Mountain, and then shooting the fuck out of the heartless, and then landing again, and then eventually Yensid takes over.
And there's only about, like, 30 heartless at a time on screen. Because if you go into shot lock mode, and you scan your surroundings, you'll only get like 7 locks. And yeah, and then that fight's over, and then Yensid comes in and fucking splits the Red Sea. And he's like, "Run, go fight."
Let them
and
fight.
And then you go into the Keyblade graveyard, and it's like this maze, and it's like at first they give you like 2 choices, like go fight. I forget who the 2 fights are first. He's like, go fight them or go fight them.
I think it was like Marluxia and Larxene and Zigbar and Syx, I think. I think those were the first 2. I don't remember.
Oh no, it was Zigbar.
Yeah, it was something like that. Well, it had an alternative path.
Well, yeah, but we're talking about who the first 2 options were.
I think it was it was Marluxia.
And I think it was Replica Riku for the second. the other one?
Well, what were
Um,
the first two you
the
fight?
first two were
Yeah.
Marluxia and Larxene. That was
Yeah,
the
I
one of the
remember
first.
that one.
And then the second option was Zigbar, Zayax, and for a very brief time, Ansem Seeker of Darkness.
Oh right, he like flees after you beat the first one.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then after
and I'm
that,
trying to remember who was fighting who. Um, yeah, I
you
just
either
want
help.
to look this up so I can like remember. I'm looking up a game guide just so I can see what happens because
Uh-huh.
I totally forgot. Um,
Because I think you either help.
Alright.
I think you either help Mickey and Riku.
okay, here it is. So the first two fights you have picked from is you can help Riku fight Zigbar, um, um, Replica Riku, and Ansem, Secret of
Uh,
Darkness. The other option is help Mickey fight Larxene, Marluxia, and Luxord. So
okay.
that's the other one. Um,
Oh yeah,
so
because Luxor traps Mickey in like in a card.
yeah, like this is fucking like Sonic Rush or something like that. Um,
Fuck.
I don't know who else gets trapped in cards. I don't remember. It happens a lot. Um, yeah,
Yu-Gi-Oh.
and like nothing. So like when Riku, like when you fight, like every time you beat one of them, they like get their own cutscene. Like so, I
Mhm.
guess like you beat the Replica Riku and Ansem and Zigbar just kind of like sit around for a minute so he can die, and then continue
Yeah.
the fight. But you get like the moment between the two, between the real Riku and the replica, because they were like talking in like his soul or whatever earlier. It was weird. Um,
Yeah.
and then I don't, and Zigbar just kind of like dies, except not really because he's actually Lushu. Um,
Mhm.
and then yeah, and Larxene, Marluxia, and Luxord gives you the card that you never use, so that's gonna be important in the next game, I
It's like
guess.
it's a
Yeah.
wild card. You'll need it, and then you beat the game,
And then
and that's still in your
looks at
inventory.
the card, and it's actually a Persona card. So,
Like it's like this big cutscene where he takes out the card and he just turns it around, and it's a gnome.
no, even better, it's
He gets
Exodia, the
gnomed.
Forbidden One. Come forth, Exodia.
No, it's a paywall. It's a paywall.
You
That's
son
what
of a
it is.
bitch. It's like $5 DLC to beat Xanort.
Yeah.
It's like every time you turn over, every time you look at the card in your inventory, it just a pay screen comes up on the screen. It's like, oh, pay $10 to see what's in the back of this card.
Let's turn into CSGO pretty quick. So yeah, and I don't remember like so Luxor does that, but Marluxia and Larxene like both have things I really don't remember, like why they were ever there to begin with. I don't know.
I don't know. I guess they just decided that they were going to be members of the original, of the actual, because there's a cutscene where Zigbar is like telling them, or no, not Zigbar, Zemnis is telling them that they're like descendants of key wielders or some shit, and that's why they're in the real Organization 13. It's because like Demix, Marluxia, Larxene, and Lux, or like everybody else, they're like descendants of key wielders,
Uh huh.
and that's why they're there.
Uh,
But I feel like it was just like a random thing.
yeah,
Like, ah.
but those fights like don't really mean much. It's the second set of fights where everything got like batshit. Where they
Mhm.
got really because like
Yeah.
first you got Ventus and Aqua fighting Terra and Vanitas, or Terranort and
Mhm.
Yeah.
Vanitas, and then we get the oh yeah, Ansem Secret Darkness's stand or has actually been Terra this whole time, and that was so fucking cool. When he
Yeah.
like took the mask
Yeah.
off and like turned back into Terra, that was awesome. And I
Mhm.
got to see that trio back together. That was actually the second fight I did, because the first one I did was helping Kyrie and Axel, and that's where like Xehanort or Zemnis is. Like, you don't really fight him, but then you've got Xion who's hooded and
Mhm.
Sayax, which you're fighting, and that's when Roxas showed up. And dude, I was so fucking hyped when Roxas showed up.
Fucking
Yeah.
ODST dropping.
Dude, I know. Like Roxas is like my favorite character in the series. I think he's a lot of people's favorite characters in the series.
Mhm.
Favorite character? Yeah, whatever. So
Yeah.
seeing him come back was really cool with the Oathkeeper and Oblivion in tow.
Yeah.
And
I was
then
really hoping you could play as him.
We get to in the DLC.
Like during that, yeah, but like in that fight,
I know that
and
would have been really badass. But no, he just kind of like cutscenes it, and then like Axel finds out that Shion is Shion, and who somehow exists again, and also they now remember her because that convenience and yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But dude, I actually kind of cried when they came back together because that was like so fucking beautiful. Because I was like, that was like the one trio you like kind of didn't expect to get back together because Shion didn't exist anymore.
yeah,
Yeah.
It was really cool seeing them come back together. And same with Terra Aqua and Ventus.
Yeah.
I just have less attachment to them. And then after that gauntlet, you get down to Xemnas, Young Nort, and some Secret Darkness.
which leads into probably one of the most badass moments in the entire fucking franchise. It's
Well,
like you, Riku, and Mickey fighting against Xemnas, while Xemnas looks over all of you.
you mean Xehanort?
Xehanort, yeah.
It's 3 nobodies and a 4th nobody. Yeah, which with that I admit that was really fucking cool. Only for like, damn it, I can't. I really liked Xemnas' death. I just fucking can't remember why I liked it now. And there's some Secret Darkness, and then there's like Young Xehanort. So they all go out, and then
But I like how when like Xemnas dies and he's like complimenting you because you're strong.
yeah.
And then Ansem Secret of Darkness dies. He compliments you because you're strong. And then Young Xehanort dies and he's just like, suck my dick, bitch, and then he leaves.
Suck my dick! Yeah, and then it's just like. And it's just like, it's over! You don't have all the keys! And he's like, oh yeah, I've got Kyrie. And so it's like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
And then Xehanort just fucking murders Kyrie to get another Keyblade.
Yeah.
To get the last one he needs, and then he makes a new Kingdom Hearts, or he
reforges the Keyblade.
Yeah, he reforges the key blade, and also that was like the original Kingdom Hearts from Birth by Sleep. So that was like the natural. That was the hearts of men, not the hearts of the world. Because Kingdom Hearts 1 is the hearts of the world, which is in the world of darkness, and they never address it ever again. Like Kingdom Hearts, the heart of the world is just in the world of darkness, and it's never addressed ever again.
Well, it's because apparently it's like fighting the darkness, so it needs to be in there. I don't know.
But they never say that though.
They never say it, but it's like written in the new Ansem reports.
Oh, okay.
Or the Xehanort reports.
Okay, I don't know. I never fucking read. Well, no, it is by Ansem. It's Ansem's research.
Yeah.
It's not. It's Heartless Xehanort's research. Okay, where were we? Yeah. So. Yeah, and this is like the fake one that the Organization 13 made Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah, this is like the real deal, and
this one's the hearts of men.
He actually like opens it and like tries starts getting the power from it.
He like inverts it, so now it's like power of darkness. And then they're like all trying to, what was it? They were trying to like seal it back up or whatever.
Yeah.
And they end up going into Deus ad Caelum or something like that.
Scala ad Caelum.
Okay, I knew it was something like that. Which is the fountain of all worlds, or origin point of all worlds, which, okay, where the fuck is it?
Yeah, it's like, it was pretty much the home world of the key wielders.
Yeah, and I was trying to figure out, is like, are they actually there, or is this like a
projection?
A recreation? Is this place just a dead world, yet it still looks really nice? Like, I was kind of
like
lost.
Trolleys were operating and shit, like like everything, like were there just citizens going about the day, and then all of a sudden the sky turns dark and lasers start flying everywhere.
Like, I don't know. It was very, very strange, and I don't know. I didn't think about it too much because I was kind of hyped up because I knew the game was almost over, and I was excited to get to the end of it. Not because like fuck me, finally this game's over, but because like, okay, what's gonna happen? And you hit the fight, which was pretty easy for me. But granted, I did have the Ultima because I wanted to just beat the shit out of the end of this game. by the time I finished it. So
First, you fight the Seekers of Darkness.
yeah, first you fight the Seekers, which are all in like their ox head masks,
Mm-hmm.
and then they like fuse into one. Like I was expecting him to get like young and like buff or something, but no, he like just stays old and gets like this crazy ass dark armor.
Yeah, he gets it. He activates his Keyblade armor, which is like the
Yeah,
devil.
yeah, which is pretty metal, but.
Yeah,
The
very edgy.
fight isn't very hard, and then it like goes back to the top of where Kingdom Hearts is.
Mm-hmm.
Like they go, like they leave Kylam and like go back to that. I think.
No, they stay
something
in
like that.
they stay in Scala, and they go to the top of the tower, and that's where they fight.
And
As
then,
for
like,
as for
Hearts is
Sora,
there. Yeah.
some like 16, 17-year-old kid fights an 80-something-year-old Keyblade master with the literal Keyblade.
Yeah. I mean, I did have Ultima.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that still doesn't compare to the Keyblade.
Well, I don't know. Ventus managed to break it with words.
That was an incomplete Keyblade. The one that Vanitas got was an incomplete Keyblade. Like he never fully finished it. What Master Xehanort was using was the Keyblade.
Yeah. Well,
It
whatever.
was the complete version.
You kick his ass, and then they all goes back to where they were in the no, like doesn't like everyone else like show up there?
Yeah, everybody shows up,
Yeah,
and
everybody
then
shows up, and then we get the whole turnaround that I don't buy for a goddamn stage. Like, I was so much darkness. I was trying to reset the world so light could be again. I'm like, bull fucking shit. Come on, Nomura. No fucking way. You know all the shit this dude has done to get to this point, and you're trying to play him out as the good guy now? Kiss my ass. This dude, one, straight up murdered a girl.
Yeah.
Like not 10 minutes ago, and he fucked up the lives of 3 of his students for like just to kickstart this. He literally ripped one of his students' hearts souls in half, fucked over a whole ton of worlds with his plan of splitting himself in 2. Who knows how many people the Heartless killed during this whole conquest? All to just use the Kingdom Hearts as a reset. Go to hell.
Mm-hmm.
That I did not like. Like at first it's like and then later I'm just thinking no, that is dumb. That is very, very dumb. You can't just try and turn this around and make him a good guy when he's done so much evil shit. Like Darth Vader is one thing because they're not like, oh no, yeah, he's like 100% good. It's like, no, he's been doing evil shit for years, but he did something that helped redeem like himself because it was like there was always good in him. But this is like we didn't like no one ever said there was good in him. This dude like was constantly doing evil shit. And just because he thinks he was doing the right thing the whole time, he's like forgiven? No.
Mm-mm. And then Master Ericus comes out of Terra, and
oh yeah,
it's still Mark Hamill, so that's pretty cool.
Thank God.
And he's like,
speaking of Star
Wars,
like,
he's like, hey, like,
hey, you fucked up. Let's go to heaven now. For some reason, you get to go to heaven, so let's go to heaven. Also, we get to be kids again. That's kind of neat.
Yeah, it's just like, stop it.
Hey, look.
Get some help.
It's like, hey, look. Now I don't have that scar. You know, the one that you gave to me before you tricked my student into literally murdering me? Yeah. Let's go to heaven. Oh, God. Yeah, it's all kind of shit. And then they, like, Sora uses the Keyblade to seal Kingdom Hearts again. They all go back to the Keyblade graveyard, and it's just like, don't worry, we'll find Kairi eventually. And Sora's like, no, I'm not waiting. See you guys on the flippity flop, and opens a gate. And they're just like, but you might not come back. And I'm just like, oh no, they're gonna make more games. He's coming back.
And then he dies
again.
Yeah.
And kind of sticks to dude, like, and so we do that, and then we start getting the ending sequence, and like, did anyone that ever played anyone that played these games when they were younger like not cry during this like ending sequence?
It was pretty emotional
because I cried a lot.
Everything.
I'm not I'm not even the biggest Kingdom Hearts fan, but like the moment, like, well, not right away, like with the I was like getting moved when there was just like the instrumental of Simple and Clean.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then, but like the moment Don't Think Twice started, I started tearing up, and I was not stopping anytime soon.
I started getting emotional when Dearly Beloved started. 'Cause Dearly Beloved is like the menu music.
Yeah,
When
I know.
when that one started to play, I started getting a bit teary.
When did that start playing in the ending? I don't remember.
Uh, Shit.
Because it
I
like
think
Sora leaves and it goes straight into the instrumental of Simple and Clean while everyone's like returning home, and we find Namine's coming back and everything, which is awesome. It looks like she and Riku have a thing, which is cool. Um,
Yeah.
but I don't remember them playing Dearly Beloved at the ending. I just remember it goes straight from the instrumental, goes from that into Don't Think Twice when they go back to the beaches of Destiny Islands.
that might be confusing my music again.
Maybe, I don't know, but yeah, no, I was crying, and like I said, I'm not even the biggest Kingdom Hearts fan. I just like really I love I love the first game only for its story. The gameplay shit.
Yeah.
But and then two, I played like really recently. 'Cause, like the only game I really have a lot of nostalgia for is the original one. And even when I played it when I was in middle school, I never beat it. I didn't beat it until I was. I don't think I beat it till like no, I did not beat that game until we graduated. So I have
Jesus.
only. Yeah, well, because I got stuck on the Ursula boss fight, like on the first game, and you couldn't skip cutscenes in the original game. So I got sick of it, stopped playing it. I didn't start playing it until I got the HD version, and even then I didn't play very far into it. And then like literally the summer we graduated, I got back into it and like beat the whole game in like a week. And that's kind of when I had my kick, and I was riding that for a little bit. But even then, I didn't play Kingdom Hearts 2 until just like at the end of last year. So for me, I mostly have nostalgia with the story of Kingdom Hearts and the original Kingdom Hearts. So I'm not even that ingrained, but I was a mess.
Yeah, and that was it was very nice. It was very touching, seeing like all the memories from all the previous games, like in a flashback credit scene.
For me, it was just seeing all the characters that came out okay in the end, except for Sora. And at that point, I literally just started screaming, "What? What? What?"
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to figure out what the fuck happened. Just
Like,
because it's
because
like
when I
he's there
first-
and then he's not there. Like what's going on? And then I was waiting.
when I first saw them on the tree, I was like, "Oh shit! Like he actually did it. That is awesome." And then they share the fruit, and I'm like, "Good for it." Oh, oh,
Oh fuck.
oh.
Yeah.
Then I heard like a snap somewhere off in the distance.
Oh yeah, we forgot to do the Marvel World, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanos got all the Infinity Keyblades. Yeah. Yeah. I'm still.
It's like, oh, you were wondering why there weren't any Final Fantasy words. They were the ones that got snapped.
Oh, you weren't wondering why there weren't any good world tied into the plot? Well, because those were Kingdom Hearts too.
Yep.
Yeah. Though I'd like an explanation, please. Like, why the fuck can he not bring himself back now when he did already once? Like, why? Also, why is Kyrie in purgatory and when the others weren't? What? I don't know. That's something that needs to be explained, because there's like no good reason why Sora is not back, considering we have seen him come back from death twice, actually.
Yeah.
Because also in the final boss, you get the same thing, and I was actually really confused at first. Just like, was I supposed to die? Why isn't the option coming up? And I hit a button, and just like, oh, okay, so I just mashed this, and I can win now. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, the ending was really fucking touching. That's the only thing that irks me, is that Sora's not there, but it doesn't irk me enough to make me hate the ending, because it was so fucking beautiful. Even if I don't like that one detail. And yeah, especially when you go to the credits, you just see, like the super cuts of a lot of the older games. So it's good shit. And then we get we get like the extra ending and like the secret ending. So like the extra one is finding out that Lucio or that Zigbar has been Lucio this whole time, which of course I didn't, like I said, I didn't get the first time.
That was completely out of nowhere.
Dude, I have a feeling if I had known, it would have blown my fucking mind.
Not completely out of, like, they were dropping like subtle hints that Zigbar was like into something much bigger than this. That he was like involved in something a lot grander,
Uh-huh.
but it was never to the point where you think that he was Lushu.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, that came out of nowhere, and then like the foretellers show up, and like the box, like Lushu's box is right there. The Master of Masters' box is like right there. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, we're gonna open it. Ooh,
Oh, see,
ends.
that's the thing. Is the beginning of the game, you see freaking Maleficent and Pete like trying to get the box open, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
where the hell did that box come from? What is that? Because again, I didn't know, so I was all
Yeah,
kinds of confused.
it like apparently contains like a big secret.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, so that was once I like knew what was going on and that tied in, it made a lot of sense. But then we get the secret ending, which just like if the regular ending already didn't blow my mind, this did, because like the
This one's
first
like what?
dude, because like the first time I watched it, I was all kinds of fucking confused because it was just like, wait, I was like, is this reality? Did Sora get pulled into the real world? Is that what's happening? Please tell me that's not what's happening. And we see him like we see all this crazy shit, which as always the secret ending looks fucking amazing. Like they
Mhm.
always look really really cool, even back to like the original days.
Yeah,
Even
the
though I never
CGI
got
cutscene.
them because they're too much of a bitch, so I looked them up online. But
Yeah.
and then we see like Riku, who appears to be like in the same place, but then fucking Yozora from the Toy Story World video game is there for some reason.
Yeah, the Verum
Yeah.
Brex.
Yeah, the
When the
Baron
Verum
Brex game.
Brex.
So, like, and by this point, most of us know, like, Sora just woke up in the UG from World Ends With You because he's at the 104 crossing, which is specifically World Ends With You because it's the 109 in real Shibuya.
Yeah.
So like that's pretty much confirms that he's in World Ends With You, which makes me wonder, is that going to be like a side game? Because I would love to see that as a side game, or is it just
Mhm.
going to be DLC for this one? Um, but I don't know. I need to finish World Ends With You before I can decide which I'd rather have. But either way, that was really cool and really fucking mind blowing. But then you're still wondering, okay, are they both in the UG or are they in different places? And like, Sora got sucked into World Ends With You, and Riku is somehow in Verum Rex, which is now like an actual thing.
Yeah. Also, how did Riku get sucked into Verum Brex?
Yeah, like Sora was like dead, kind of, but
Yes, Sora was the one that died. Riku was in the beach.
mm-hmm.
Unless Riku like tried to go after him and somehow ended getting like sucked up into Verum Rex.
Yeah. Yeah, 109 is the
Um,
real one. So
but it's weird because Kingdom Hearts 3 is the last like game that's focusing on Sora.
well, it's the last one we're
It's
getting that's
it's
focusing on Xehanort. I haven't heard anything about Sora.
it's no, it's the end of the Dark Seeker saga.
Yeah.
And it's
Oh yeah,
also
and then we get like the ending where it's like, now we're gonna do it, but it's like freaking Ericus just plays the Uno reverse card. Where now
mhm,
it's 13 light and 7 darkness, whatever the fuck that means.
yeah,
Where the
and
What does it all mean, Nomura? What does it all
yeah,
mean?
but, like in an interview, Nomura said that this was the last like game like with Sora.
Oh
Like
god, the
Yeah.
sales are up.
the next chapter in the Kingdom Hearts saga is not going to be focusing on
Oh
Sora.
god, the
Which
sales are up
means
now.
it might be a side game. Honestly, I just wanted Kingdom Hearts to like just straight up be done here.
Yeah.
Like that's the
Mhm.
thing I've come to learn as I've gotten older. Like things need to end at some point, or they're going to get bad.
Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, they're gonna get
Well,
bad.
that's an online game. I can't speak to that, but just like sometimes there's a point where I just want something to end. Like Attack on Titan. Like right now, I am ready for it to end because it is in like a really good spot. We have like 2 chapters left. I'm hyped out of my mind for it. Season 4
Mhm.
next year, fall. I totally called that too. I was like, they're gonna end like right at the end of this arc, and then all the Marley shit is gonna be next year in a new season. I totally called it. But anyway, that's another side. But that my point is like if this is like actually ending Sora's story, then I'll be fine with that. If they're doing something completely different, but at the same
Mhm.
time, what are they gonna do? Considering in total honesty, this franchise kind of rides on nostalgia to keep it going.
Yeah.
Like it's not like Pokemon where like new kids are always picking up the games to start. Like if you're playing these games, you are very much ingrained in the entire timeline, because otherwise you don't know what the fuck is going on. Like, you
Yeah.
have to be this is a franchise you have to be involved with to know what is happening, like, in any way, shape, or form. So, if they restart, like, basically what's gonna if they restart, the question is, are they gonna restart from scratch? If so, how are they gonna do that? And
Mm-hmm.
two, if they do that, they're gonna have to try and either try and pull in old players with, like, enough of what they're familiar with to keep them interested, while at the same time doing stuff new that people want to get into now. And I think Kingdom Hearts, the original, was just like such a perfect storm of just utter uniqueness for the time,
Mm-hmm.
that I'm not sure it's going to have that same draw that it did back in 2003 or whenever it came out. I think it was 2003, or even
like
all through up then. For just because nowadays we got kids that are used to everything being smooth and quick and everything. Like, kids nowadays now expect games to play like Kingdom Hearts 3 does.
Yeah.
So you can't give a kid the original Kingdom Hearts and expect them to have fun with it, because they're not. Hell, I barely have fun with it. And
also,
I was like, what, 5 when that game came out?
also like
6?
in also, like, for the story, like, the whole thing of a bad guy trying to use Kingdom Hearts for evil purposes
Mm-hmm.
is done. Like, they already do it. What else could they do with Kingdom Hearts?
Especially because it's the name of their fucking game.
Yeah, like, are they gonna do it as like, oh, now another villain's gonna try to use Kingdom Hearts for evil purposes?
Maybe the
Like,
light are gonna overuse Kingdom Hearts, and that's gonna end up being bad, and the dark has to come stop them.
Yep.
I don't know. That's all I got.
maybe.
But anyway, since we're talking about gameplay, let's talk about the gameplay, because I actually have to go to bed in like an hour because I have to open the store tomorrow. So,
Yeah.
so gameplay, like, holy shit, this is like easily the best Kingdom Hearts in terms of gameplay.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
hands down. Like, the smoothness of everything, how all the abilities tie together, combos are better, easier than ever to do. They gave you just about every offensive option that's ever been in the series. We got shot locks. We've got the magic commands. Like not quite command styles, but being able to stack magic enough together that you can just use like a nuke.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the new attraction system where you get to pull out rides.
I don't like that. It came up way too often.
It definitely can't wait too often. My problem was I didn't figure out you could change your options with L1 until I beat the game. Because I was always like, I wanted to do like my super magic instead of the attraction, but I didn't know you could switch. And then I found out you could, and I felt like an idiot. Yeah, they definitely do come up a lot. I
did like how you can change keyblades on the fly too.
Yes, that is awesome. Being able to have 3 keyblades equipped. Also, the keyblade transformations I find so much more fun than the regular old forms.
Yeah.
Just because it's easier to build up. It's not like you're waiting for a gauge to fill back up. It's like you are actively increasing it while you're fighting. You're not trying to wait for something specific to drop. And you switch and you get your giant claws, or your super hammer, or in the case of the Ultima, just a giant fucking sword, and also you can now fly.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Also, it's a sword that like calls tons more swords down, so it's basically Senbon Sakura from Bleach. So, Senbon Sakura Kagayoshi. So,
very smooth gameplay too.
Yes, very, very good. And like between all the new movement options, being able to run, which is really nice because the worlds are a lot bigger than before. But the worlds are still populated. Like, they don't feel as sparse because you've got NPCs now, which makes the world feel more like alive than ever.
Yeah. I wanted the ability to hit NPCs.
Oh, you would. Just
I wanted to
just decapitate somebody.
Yeah, I just wanted to go to like Twilight Town and like just go to like this little girl that's just like near the ice cream shop and just fucking just.
You have issues.
Drop
you
have
a
meteor.
Issues, Chava.
No, I do not.
All I want to do is hit children.
Yeah.
With the fucking sword.
I just want to drop a meteor on a little kid. What's so bad with that?
Cast meteor on a child.
You see this little kid is just supernova.
Yeah, you have, and you know what? And you have those options of cooking food, but I don't think I ever use them.
Mm-mm.
I don't think I
No.
ever used that. Um, there's the system of finding the emblems, which does literally nothing except add something else to do that you need to do to get the best, the secret
The only
ending.
it's they added it so
Yeah.
they had an excuse for you to use the phone.
Yeah, okay. Also, I need to talk about the phone. I really don't like this trend of games now forcing modern phones into literally everything. Like, did Kingdom Hearts need Sora to have a cell phone like a modern day teenager? No, no, it
You didn't
really
need
didn't.
hashtags.
Nope.
They
God,
didn't need to
okay,
use hashtags
I
during the fucking
okay.
loading
Also,
screens.
I cannot stand the not Instagram between. It is so annoying. It feels really fucking cringy a lot of the time.
Hmm.
It like some of those posts where it's just like trying to find myself, whatever. It's like, wow, this is like actual cringy teenage shit, and it hurts me to look.
This is like something you would write in high school.
Exactly. That's why it hurts so much. Like, wow, I feel like I can relate to this, and that's the worst part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that just bugged me, but probably because I don't like Instagram very much anyway. But it felt shoehorned. Like we didn't need this. You end up seeing the same picture like 5 times in a loading screen,
Hmm.
and then and taking pictures. It feels like just now every game that's pretty has to have a way to take pictures of it outside of the normal screenshot feature. Which, it's harmless at best, but I don't know why. But having like the smartphone just kind of irks me. Like, this is supposed to be some kind of like fantastical world with crazy technology, but they just literally made him a smartphone.
Why?
I don't know. I feel
And
like they could have
it's
done
pretty
more.
like
They
bricky.
could have
Also,
done something.
Yeah.
it's a big phone.
Well, it is a gummy phone, to be fair. I don't know. Maybe
Gummy.
I'm just getting old, but I'm tired. I don't like them doing that.
I mean,
It
I think
gets
you are.
old.
I think you are getting old.
Yeah, we're all getting old anyway.
We're all gonna die.
The ability to use the shot lock to platform was a fucking godsend, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fucking parkour.
So nice. And they had the flow motion system back, though it was nerfed to hell, and I actually never used it except for doing the traversal shit. That's the only time I used flow motion was to platform, but I almost never used it in combat just because just hitting triangle was faster, or square, or X. Hitting X was faster.
Or just shot lock, zip through enemies.
You know what? I didn't use the shot lock as often for combat as I did for
Yeah, I don't
movement.
really use it.
Like, I did I used it on bosses, but not usually for regular enemies because I just tear through them usually with my giant claws.
Mhm.
Yeah, that I also used the Monsters Inc. Yo-Yo one a lot. I got a lot of
Yeah.
use out of the Toy Story one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the Toy
Toy
Story.
Story is awesome.
My favorite ones were the Toy Story, the Pirates of the Caribbean, and the Big Hero 6. But I think Pirates of the Caribbean might have been the best one simply because its
It gets
transformation
more
had
awesome
the
though.
best range.
Dude,
It
yeah,
just had
and throwing
so
all that
much
water and
range.
shit. Yeah, that was nice. I think when I got that one was my most used. But the ones I used primarily were the it was Monsters Inc. Yo-Yo, the hammer from Toy Story, and then the spear from Pirates of the Caribbean were all really cool.
Yeah, I use those the most. I don't really use the other one.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah, I mentioned how every pretty game has to have have a camera taking picture or feature, but dude, this game looks fucking good.
The
Like,
game,
we have finally hit the point where we are at Kingdom Hearts 1 opening levels of graphics.
Yeah.
Like, we've got defined hairs on Sora's head and other characters' heads. You got like this really high quality like textures and everything. This game looks fucking phenomenal.
yeah, because they switched to
Yeah.
Unreal 4.
Yeah, thank
They were
God.
they were gonna use like their home engine, which would have made it look like 5 times more terrible, and
It
then
would
they
have
switched
looked
to
like
Unreal.
what we saw in the original trailers, and then they switched,
Yeah.
and everyone breathed a sigh of relief.
Yeah,
Yep.
and then they switched to Unreal Engine 4, and like sure it did add like 2 years of the development cycle, but it was worth it
Yeah,
because the way the
think so.
game the game just especially the Pirates of the Caribbean world
Oh
that
my
world
God,
that world
yes.
was the
With that.
best looking world out of all of them.
Dude, can we talk about how Pirates of the Caribbean is the best world hands down?
Yeah.
Like between,
Yep.
I was disappointed to find out that He's a Pirate is no longer the battle theme, because that's what makes me love the world of
Kingdom
Kingdom Hearts
Hearts 2.
2 so much. I was trying to remember the name of it, but whatever. Uh,
Port Royale.
Port Royale, that's it. Just
Yeah.
the fact that, like, you start a fight, it's just dun 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 dun.
It lasts for 5 seconds, and then you'd end the fight, and then another 10 seconds later.
Yeah, I didn't care. I loved it. I fucking loved that theme to death. Like, I played that in band and did the crash cymbals for that. That was one of the songs we played when we went to Disneyland. I love He's a Pirate so much. Who doesn't, really? Even if you don't like Pirates of the Caribbean movies,
I
that's
like
such a good piece of music.
Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, so I was a little disappointed that the battle theme that replaced it was serviceable. I honestly liked, like, looking for crabs to level up the ship. Just because the naval combat was, it was there. It wasn't terrible, but it was alright. But it added a lot of fun, like, searching for islands. It was like a mini Assassin's Creed 4.
Yeah, it was a little mini Black Flag.
Yeah, and see, unlike San Francisco, where hunting emblems felt like a bitch, like, it was actually kind of fun doing it because you've got these big open areas so you can explore more easily. It's an ocean. I love the ocean. I hate crabs, but collecting them was okay because they gave my shit bigger cannons. And just walking around and seeing everything was actually really cool. I liked how defined it was.
Yeah, like it wasn't just like copy pasted islands. Like each island was individually designed and modeled. And then the underwater parts of the game too, like if you dove underwater, like that was also pretty detailed.
Oh my god, can we also talk about how they finally fucking gave Kingdom Hearts good swimming controls?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, hold down circle to go forward. Thank you!
And then they used it in the final battle too.
Yeah, that was also really cool, which it didn't feel awful, like trying to do the final battle in Kingdom Hearts 1 while you're flying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just I was legitimately happy. It was one of the moments in this game where I was happy when I jumped in the water and I didn't want to immediately kill myself.
Didn't immediately want to jump back out.
No, it's like, can I drown? Is there a way I can drown? Please.
Starting into Sonic drowning music.
You just like grab the nearest heartless jellyfish and shove it in your mouth and hope you can suffocate.
Jeez.
Yeah. And electrocute you to death.
Or that'll work.
You just get one of the crabs and you start bashing your skull in with it.
I feel like I'm gonna break the crab before I break my head.
Yeah, Sora's pretty tough.
Clearly. So, yeah, that it was just so good. And you know what I did do, though? Is the moment... I had it on standby, so the moment a ship showed up, I started playing He's a Pirate. So whenever I was doing ship battle... whenever I was sailing, just period, I was playing that constantly. On loop.
Yeah.
Goofy, we gotta ship up the port bow! Blow those fuckers to hell! Aye aye, Captain Zora! Take this, you bastards! I can hear their screams, Captain Zora. I think we got them.
It would have been funny is like if you collect enough like crabs, your ship just turns into like the Yamato. It just turns into a fucking World War II battleship.
That would be kind of
Blow those fuckers to hell.
What?
I don't know. I can't do Donald. I just want to do like, there's more of them behind us, Sora. Use the rear cannons. Send them to Davy Jones. And by that I mean hell. Yeah. It was so much fun, and again, I'm kind of biased because I haven't seen World's End yet, so I didn't suffer at all from the retread shit.
It's a really good movie.
Yeah,
it's like 3 hours long, but it's a really good movie. I like it.
Game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and then we already kind of talked about Worst World. God, it's kind of hard for me to pick because it's between San Francisco because of its cluttered design and Frozen because they made me listen to Let It Go for the millionth time too many. I've grown up in a household with a little sister who was like the perfect age when that movie came out to love it. So I've heard that song so many fucking times. It's just
I feel like San
You
Francisco.
just want to blow your brains out.
Sure, it was big, but it was also pretty. It was interesting. It was an interesting world, and like
I didn't find it interesting because it was just buildings. There was like nothing. It's like if you're on the ground level, there was nothing. Like the building's upper design was okay, but not only was it kind of annoying to navigate, it was just skyscrapers. There was like nothing really interesting to find there.
Mm-hmm. It was cool to parkour across the city. It was like if you're playing like prototype, but there was nobody there, and like Baymax was just the fucking cutest character in the entire fucking game, and it had enough good things in it that it wasn't the worst. I think the worst was the Frozen world.
Yeah, there's just a lot I don't like about the Frozen world. I do like getting the snow golem to like be your friend. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I liked having that, but yeah, it's.
I don't like climbing up the fucking mountain.
Yeah.
You climb up the mountain, you get tossed down. You climb up the mountain, you get tossed down. You climb up the mountain, you get tossed. It's like fucking scaling Everest.
There is that great moment though when you're walking through like the wind. You have to hide behind the rocks, and I only say it great because I saw a video of Donald walking. It's like, wait to be safe behind the rocks, and he like walks out from behind it, and just goes, and just goes flying back. I was laughing hard.
I saw one similar. I think I saw that same video, and then I saw another one where it's like they're walking. It's like, I think there's some ingredients.
Yeah, that ingredients got quite the meme treatment around the time when it came out.
Also, the selfie feature got some pretty high quality memes.
I don't know how many of those I saw. Not nearly as many as when Spider-Man came out and you had people taking selfies like the moment before they got shot. I did a few of those. Shit was funny. I need to go back to that. I actually need to go back to playing Spider-Man because they added the stealth suit and the advanced suit from Far From Home as free DLC.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I was already playing it with the Sam Raimi suit because that was also free DLC back in like Christmas. So that game's fun. Like we always talk about a really fun PS4 game that came out recently. Ish. I don't know. September was kind of a while ago, but
yeah,
it's been almost a year, but yeah.
It came out at the same time as like Red Dead. It's pretty new. Actually, no, Red Dead came out in October. Never mind.
Yeah. Also, Red Dead sucks. Anyway.
What?
I couldn't stand Red Dead.
Grand Theft Horse.
Exactly. You know what's the difference between a car and a horse? One doesn't go 80 miles per hour. Also, you want to know another thing? That world is way too fucking big to explore on a goddamn horse.
It's still amazing.
And there's no fast travel at the start of the game. Immediate disqualification from ever being a good game in my book. Next, Adam, what is your least favorite world in this game?
So far,
your most favorite, because I don't know if you agreed with us on Pirates being the best one.
I mean, I like the Toy Story world because, well, can't text me with Woody and Buzz.
You can't what with Woody and Buzz?
Yeah, like I grew up with them just being one of my favorite icons when it comes to Disney.
And you just don't like that they didn't have the voices?
It didn't really bother me as much because when I found out that it was Tom Hanks' little brother, and I said, he did pretty decent at it.
You keep cutting out.
Oh, sorry. It didn't bother me as much because I found out who was the voice actor, and I said, it's okay.
Well, you kind of understand like why they couldn't get everyone in. I mean, James Woods was back as he always is.
This isn't Destiny with a $500 million
world. Back to the topic, anyways. Let's see. My least favorite world, of course, it's Frozen because.
You're saying your favorite one was Toy Story. Okay, I thought you said your least favorite was Toy Story, and I was confused.
Least favorite world is Frozen because you had to keep climbing and climbing.
Yeah, and that tower was just kind of boring to go through.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't very fun, and then you had to go back into it to get those emblems you used the first time. God damn it, Joshua, pay attention!
They had to do that sledding game.
Yeah,
Like,
like I already bitched about that sledding game. Yeah, that was shit.
Especially, it's a requirement to get the the thing for the
you had to get the
ultimate.
orichalcum.
Yeah, well that's why I was talking about that earlier. But yeah, that was stupid before
Mm-hmm.
they updated it, and it's still stupid. Because
Yep.
you have to be some of those jumps. You have to be so goddamn precise to get it. It's really dumb.
Like, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
Sean White could play that and still
It's
not
like the
fucking
game
get
is
on the
like you
first
gotta
try.
be precise. Can't slip up, otherwise you gotta suffer the consequences.
Yeah, Adam, I agree with you. Toy Story is probably my second favorite world, and it really hinges on just because I also really really love Toy Story.
Mm-hmm.
Which reminds me, we need to talk about Toy Story 4 next week.
Yeah, next
We've
week.
we've all
Yeah,
seen it
since
by now,
almost.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've seen it.
Okay, we'll definitely talk about that next week. Just I want to remember that. Uh, yeah, just because I really like the one. I already said how I really like the world theme. It was probably my favorite world theme was the Toy Story one because it was basically just "You've Got a Friend in Me" but remixed a little bit. I
Yeah.
liked getting in the robots and just being able to mecha the shit out of enemies. That was
Mm-hmm.
awesome. I love doing that.
Gundam.
Um, and my only problem is there was a couple points where I got hit with a "where the fuck do I go" syndrome. But
Mm-hmm.
until I
Yeah.
had actually pulled out
Also,
a guide because it wasn't very
it's the
clear.
only world with like a Final
Yeah.
Fantasy reference with the cactus.
Yes, that's right. The cactus dude is there. And overall, the fact that it's such like a big cylindrical design,
Mhm.
I liked that because it was all easy to access once you figured out where
Yeah.
you were supposed to be going. Um,
Yeah.
and it wasn't too hard to get around. And the movement options help with that. How the worlds are bigger, but your movement kind of increased with the size of the world, so you can move faster and get around them sooner, quicker.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Mhm.
I agree. I don't know. What did you say your second favorite was, Java?
Second favorite, probably also Toy Story.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it just it was really fun to see.
Mm-hmm.
Like the mecha part, like fighting with like mechas and shit.
Yeah.
Going outside, when you first play the game,
Yes.
or
Oh,
when you
that was
first
so cool. It was like
go
Toy
outside the
Story 2
house.
all over again.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
I love the hell out of that. Just jumping down and yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. That was really good.
Jumping out of the house, just like Buzz did.
So would
Mhm.
you say that your second favorite was Pirates then, Adam, or was there another one you liked better?
Yeah, my second favorite's Pirates so far.
Well, you almost all, well, at least we lined up on the one that we all hated.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool that we finally got Pixar representation in the game, though. It's been a long
Mhm.
Yeah.
time coming. The
More Marvel.
Monsters Inc. world was like just all right. Wasn't
It was alright.
It wasn't terrible.
Uh-huh.
I'm not a big fan of San Francisco. I didn't hate it. I just thought it was a little uninspired. Because like here's a garage and here's a city, but there's like nothing in it. And
Yeah.
then yeah,
Just hate.
Cronoa was all right. I mean, I didn't. I didn't mind. I liked how it was kind of open. I liked the exploration, so I'd still put it above any of the ones I didn't like. Uh, so you know.
And of course, Frozen. Despise it.
Yeah, and still the overall problem of the fact that they don't mean anything to the story. But as
Mhm.
far as just self-contained and what they had as far as platforming and everything, mechanics, because well, that's what helped make Toy Story and Pirates stand out is they had specific mechanics for their levels, with either mechs or sailing.
Yeah.
While the others were kind of just usual cut and dry Kingdom Hearts worlds.
No really special features or anything like that.
Yeah, the bosses are all pretty sick. I did like all the bosses.
Yeah.
Oh, also Toy Story, where you get to go in the video game and you have to fight all the enemies.
Mhm.
I forgot about that. That was cool. But yeah, the bosses are all pretty cool. I don't remember all of them. There was like the evil Baymax in San
Yeah.
Francisco. You had like the really big one in Tangled, but I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, it was like the mother Gertrude, is that her name? I don't fucking know. It was
Evil
this,
mother bitch, her
yeah,
heartless.
yeah, her
Oh.
Heartless, and then there was the evil toy Heartless, and then
Yeah,
it
it was like a giant
was
spaceship or something.
um
Giant
just
spaceship for the toy.
cartoonish skeleton version of Rodan for pirates.
Oh yeah. We gotta
Oh
talk
yeah, I
about.
forgot about that. That's right. I remember that now. Where you have to like fly up to it. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then we had what was
The Titans for
oh yeah,
Mount Olympus.
Titans was pretty cool on Olympus. I got to admit. I don't even remember what
Uh,
Frozen's was.
Demon Tide for like 16
Frozen's
times.
was that ice wolf looking thing.
Oh yeah,
I kind of remember
some furry trash.
that.
Yeah, and Demon Tide appeared like 17 fucking times.
And then we got like the super boss that you get after beating the game. That's not Sephiroth. It's just like a random Heartless.
Oh yeah,
It's basically that previous Heartless from Kingdom Hearts 1.
I don't even know what the fuck his name is.
I think
Dark
they're
Inferno.
called the
Dark
Oh
Inferno.
yeah, Dark
That's his name.
Inferno.
Dark
Mhm.
Inferno, yeah.
I never bothered beating him because I was eventually just like, yeah, fuck this, and I traded the game in because I wanted to buy more shit. Actually, I think I wanted to. I actually like maybe like March or something like that. I like went through all my games and traded in a whole ton of games because there was like you had like a bonus 50% on trade value, like at that time. So I made
So you
like
got $6?
no, actually I made a cool 130, smartass. So
In-store credit.
yeah, in-store credit, so I put it towards all my pre-orders. That's why I haven't had to pay for a pre-order until like Bloodstained came out early in the month, or last month. Yeah, because I paid off. Shit, what's come out recently that I paid off? I actually don't remember. I just totally blanked, but I paid off some shit. I Fire Emblem mostly paid off because that was almost done by the time I finished. But anyway. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3 was in that list, as was Red Dead 2. So, yeah, I was out. But Dragon Ball Heroes. That's one of the games I put down to pay to pre-order off with.
Oh yeah,
What about Doom
the
Eternal?
one we picked up on
Doom
April.
Eternal I've had pre-ordered since last E3. I'll pay it off eventually.
I need to pre-order that.
Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah.
For
I think
PC.
Doom Eternal has the record for longest I've ever had a pre-order on my account. Because like when that got the first trailer at last E3, the first bit of gameplay, I just immediately pre-ordered that because I was hoping it was going to come out last year, but whatever. It's only 4 months away.
Uh,
It's getting close.
Is that it?
I'm trying to think what else gameplay there is to talk about because I think we kind of covered our bases here. Gummy ships are back. It's
I
kind of
liked
like,
it.
it's good.
yeah, I kind of like the free roaming aspect of it, sort of. Just because, like, you go into, like, you're still in, like, confined spaces, but you kind of get to go around however you want. Rather than
And,
being,
like,
like, a point A to point B kind of thing.
With the random like little or not little, they're pretty fucking massive. Heartless
Yeah.
battles and like treasures and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's like its own little contained world.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked it. I liked it more than Kingdom Hearts 2 and like
Yep.
infinitely more than Kingdom
This was
Hearts
a lot
1.
of fun.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I always love just designing gummy ships. It's kind of therapeutic for me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and also like fighting, shooting down the ships and just up. I also like doing the upgrading my ship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude,
Getting new components.
those secret bosses, though, that you have to fight to get the Orichalcum Plus can go to fucking hell, dude. Those are ludicrously difficult, and I had a lot of shit on my ship, and I didn't want to grind more, so it'd take even longer. So I just stuck it out, and it was like almost 3 in the morning one time. I was like, I just need to beat this last one. And I'm going to bed, and I finally killed the bastard.
Speaking about going to bed, I think that's something we should all do.
Yeah, we're pretty much getting there. I mean,
I am ending your stream.
we went through. No, you can't do this. My stream.
Nope, you
You
can't
can't
do
stop
that.
my stream. You don't know where I live.
I will. Yeah, I
Yeah,
do.
what do you think you are? A communist?
I will hack into your system and end the stream.
Whoa,
Watch.
we got like a major hack. I'm just expecting my power to just suddenly go out. Like you cut the cable.
Like
You said
your power goes out and then a red light appears behind you and I'm just like behind you.
How
Like,
would you? Wait. Where's the red light coming from? Are you a Terminator?
Yes.
There it is.
What the hell? What are you?
I emanate it.
What are you just gonna come right into his house and just gonna kill him? Just end the broadcast?
Or swat me.
Yeah.
Get up, back up! Grandma don't like going on her carpet, especially police!
Fucking pull a Oni and just replace you with a clone that's gonna die in like 5 years.
So, wait,
Except I'm not gonna turn you into a Spartan. I'm just gonna kill you too.
Oh, Halo Oni. I was like, Oni G? What?